sister, you know what I'm saying? My co-host, the Queen, Nick, Raw Cannon, you know. You know what it is. I gotta tell y'all every week. And it's crazy because I got caught up in what I know she gets caught up in. I ain't telling y'all where they live, but they live kind of far and it take about a good 40 minutes during rush hour. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we was in the 18th district doing, you know, criminal. Well, I was about to say criminal nothing. And I'm doing anything. I don't want anybody to think that credible messengers is the cops. We are not the cops. We don't do anything that the cops do. You know what I'm saying? Now we could talk about community policing. What do that mean? We can have a real conversation about that because I believe all people should, you know, be the first. Like if you want to use the word, all those words are triggers to me. Law enforcement, you know, all that stuff. Saying that you anything like that because of the experience that you have had as an African in America when it comes to criminal justice and anything that is connected to it. Saying that black people are doing anything connected to that, even though it's a lot of real live black folk that work all in through that. It's a lot of Buckeyes that work all in through that. There's a lot of people who are have that tacit agreement. They believe in what America is doing, even to their own people. Like, you know, there's a lot of offshoots of this thing. So, but credible messenger, you know what I'm saying? What we do is we do crime prevention through outreach. And I feel like I say that more as a way for us to explain it professionally. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, you know, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of things that are real, like, oh, they just paying people to be old heads. We need those back in the community. You know what I'm saying? They paying people to be pillars in the community. We need that. We especially black men. You know, and I speak as a black man. So we were up there doing that. I missed my meeting. I have to call. I'm probably fired right now because I missed the meeting with my two higher ups having a conversation. That's the reason why I'm really late. I did get caught in traffic after the fact, and it took a long time to get here. But what really happened was I got into a conversation with a black person. I love black people. I love talking to black people. I love good conversation. But it was the young lady that was up here last week, Wasima, you know, shout out to the Fathership Foundation, you know, Man to Man coming up this Monday. You know, make sure you come through 1946 South 65th Street, right on the corner of 65th and King Sesson in the middle of the hood. Fathership Foundation, my brother Dr. Wilson. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Payne. I don't know if I shouted them out last time. I talk about them a lot. Having professor friends, you know, gives me a certain level of credibility. The Hood Feminist. Look her up on Instagram, Dr. Hitchens. I always be ready to say Hutchins. I might even be messing it up, but I know her name is Brooklyn Hitchens with an I, not a U. You know what I'm saying? She is a professor at the University of Maryland. Dr. Yasser is a professor at the University of Delaware. You know, Dr. Wilson in the middle of the hood, like I said. And I know some more PhDs. I know a lot of people that got master's degrees. Shout out to my cousin Ebony, who thinks I gotta get this out. First, before I get into that, it's the 105th show. The show that I had this Dickie suit on the last time, because I don't care, that was the 100th show. My nephew Walid and my niece Z was on here, one of Reps. Shout out to Reps. Anwar, Z, Bino, Samira. It's a family-owned company, soon to be LLC. Don't get it twisted. It's going to be very soon. Getting these young folks learning, understanding business at a very early age. Family business at that. And they do social media management. They know what they're doing. We got a couple contracts on deck. You know, look at my social media. I really always want PSA_community at PSA_community. Go check it out on Instagram. You know, we got a lot more stuff coming. We got interviews coming. You know, we're going to be doing PSA live. You feel what I'm saying? Because one thing, and two, I know you was in there by yourself. I don't know if you can give me a couple minutes. I just want to shout you out. And I also wanted to talk about being black press so people can understand that. Because I think sometimes, and shout out to my brother, Sipping with Sammy, who really put that bug in my ear. Like, no, we press. Shout out to my sister. Ooh, she gonna kill me, bro. I can't. What is this? She got On the Scene magazine. I'm getting old. Sonny, yo, I apologize, Sonny. It just escaped me. Like, but shout out to Sonny Brick in a real serious way. Shout out to Tukey, the one saved me just now. Shout out to Sonny though, like, cause she is a reporter, y'all. You feel what I'm saying? And she has a long history of being a reporter. Like, it's in her family of newspapers, and the importance of news and media, print media at that, is still very important, even if you reading it on your tablet. But one of the things that they taught me working and being here, because I work for myself as, you know, having this show, you know what I'm saying? It's LLC, it's podcast, it's my job too. But it's my job. I created it for myself. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm all for that, do for self. But one of the things that we learned, and I expressed to my brother right here, and he can get y'all, I'm not going to let him go into his joint, but I'm going to let him tell him who y'all is real quick. We got a little bit of time, though, too. Always look out, but we got a little bit of time. So tell them who you are and what you do, and I'm gonna and you're gonna throw it back to me, and I'm gonna explain.
All right.
What's your next move? One of your next moves gonna be?
I'm Junebug. Everybody know me as Axes and Arrows.
Axes and Arrows.
And Instagram. You know, boy that can throw all the axes, all different types of weeds and stuff. But
exactly.
Not only that, I'm a credible messenger in the 18th district.
Mm-hmm.
And for sure, anybody that know me, see my face on here, you know we ain't playing with no police.
All day.
That ain't no doubt. My brother right here, he ain't playing with him. I ain't playing with him. But we is here for the community, and that's just it. Whatever it take, community outreach is number one. If something happened in the hood, if we had a chance to put the outreach and put the resources there to stop it, if it happens anyway, then we ain't do our job. So
exactly. And I see Morgan Myers. I appreciate it. Yes, do for self sustainability and community all day. I tell y'all what one of my things is. I try to say it a lot. Sometimes I be feeling like I'm being like not corny, but it's not authentic when I have like a tagline or like stuff that, you know, a saying that people have. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes it's like as a part of your branding, shout out to my fucking brother, Jamaal, the executive producer. I needed them hundreds. And I gotta get with you today, man. We gotta do something. Like the 100th show was 4 shows ago. And the reason why I like this right here, because like one thing, even if you don't see my folks, we still folks. Like we don't get into the weird shit. We confront each other. We try to be conflict resolutionists amongst ourselves. So it'll never be a time where I'm like, don't play with them. I love to see this. Keep up the good work, brothers. Nah, we appreciate you. Like reading this Jones, like people this type of stuff means shit to me. Like reading them Jones, like somebody actually watching me, commenting on the stuff that I'm saying. It means something to me, because one thing I learned in prison before I get back to, you know, how me and my family conduct ourselves, and I hope that that's a model, you know, for Black folk, period. Not to say that I'm always right. They always right. We don't get into times where it's not all love or whatever. And I don't think we do, though. It be distance more thing. Like, I'm a creator. I like to believe that about myself. I know that about myself. I like to create. I like to build, just in particular for Black people, because we all get served. You know what I'm saying? Family for life. See, that shit, you can't get rid of that. And I know people say a lot of fake stuff and all that, but if you knew us and you knew how we get down and the way they love me and the way I love them, you would know. You feel what I'm saying? But I gotta come around today, man. We got a link. I gotta pull up down there. You know what I'm saying? I gotta pull up down there, man, because that's my brother. But one of the things that I always say about them, and even if you see them behind the scenes, anything that got to do with Philly Service Announcement, LLC, podcast, PSA programming, PSA Live, now, believe me, they around, they a part. You know what I'm saying? And they always gonna show up. They know what it is. Because the one thing that I say for real is like, it's nothing like when you come to your people and tell them you got an idea and it don't be no shit. And I'm not saying just run with anybody, because one of the things about the dream thing, your dream could be so crazy that people, they got to bring you back to life. You know what I'm saying? It's not that they don't believe. It's like in that time that they give you real honest critique about, is that really your dream? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like saying, I want to be a drug kingpin. You know what I'm saying? It's possible. If you really, really want to be honest, drug kingpins live really nice lives. I'm talking about the actual kingpin. To be honest, he go anywhere, got all the money, got security, got all the women respected. He runs wherever he at like he runs a country. You know, to a certain extent, that's what we all aspire to do, whether it's with Microsoft or as a drug kingpin. Because, you know, we go into other avenues. Once I get this money, I start doing all kinds of shit. I'm the man. So to be honest, it is a dream that I want to be the ruler of a country one day. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to get down, you know what come with that. You know what I'm saying? So, but for your folks, so sometimes we got to check each other about, no, that's not really, like, you could be a kingpin or something, and you could put that type of effort and strategy and all that into it. Just not drugs, if we going to say. But to my point, it's like when somebody believe in you, yo, you know what I'm saying? When somebody when you say to them like, yo, we going to do this, and they be like, all right. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't one of them just silly follower. Like I'm not his young boy. He not my young boy. We respect each other for what we both bring to the table as men. And we know when to be like, my man got it. I'm here to support however it go. And vice versa. You feel me? I might not say. I could tell y'all about something that happened, but I can't talk about that on camera. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, he was like, all right, here, this is what we doing. You know what I'm saying? And it was about family. And one of the things was like, it's his family. And it's like, yo, I believe you. I trust you. I love you enough for this. You feel what I'm saying? And what you don't understand is like men that come from where we come from is like, you've been through so much. You really do be having PTSD. Like your mind be on overdrive about shit sometime. Like, because you've been through so much shit and this shit gets spooky. You feel me? But I know because I done been in the spaces and I'm like, nah. I know why I'm in the spaces. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the love and respect that we got for each other, the belief that we got for each other. Because if not, I would not be one of the people in the space. You know what I mean? And it allowed me to know. And the same for him. So when it came to, and the same for my co-host, his wife, my sister. And all our extended family and friends that we bring, we know we family. Like when Rue come around, y'all know that's family right there. And vice versa. So for me to step to them and be like, yo, I got this idea. We gonna do the show. We gonna build. We done lit fucking tents on fire and shit, trying to do shit in 100-degree weather. You know what I mean? But they never looked at me sideways. They talk they shit, him especially. He talks his shit to me, but I never felt like his support for me wavered. I never felt like he looked at him like, man, you in the way, man. No, we ain't doing this. And to this day, it's like that foundation was built. So we know. I know. So in the 100th show, because then I said arbitrarily, even though this is actually the 105th show, I'm going to say it's the 100th show. So we going to celebrate tonight, the 100th show. And it's none of your business how we going to celebrate, but we are. We going to celebrate. Me and my family. And I ain't seen them a lot because I've been running. They been running. Nick, I just a young lady is going to call you about her dad. The young lady I was talking to, Wasima, about her dad, who is a veteran. She just found him. And now she know he's supposed to be able to get certain services and she needs that help. That was a part of our conversation that made me late for the show and you know, missed the meeting with my higher ups. Hopefully I done put in enough work that this missed meeting won't get me reprimanded too bad. But something is going to get said to me. And then they're going to look at the show. I'm like, look at this nigga. He ain't even come to the meeting. He on the show smiling, talking. You fired. Nigga's like, you know, so I was having this dope conversation with the sister. And, you know, a little bit, you know, I tell y'all my business all the time. I'm an open book. One of the things that, like, I really appreciate about my sister Nick. I really appreciate about a lot of the women in my life, being able to talk to them. And I haven't been able to talk to women like I spent a lot of time talking to men because I was incarcerated for 20 years. So I didn't get to deal with women day to day. And one of the things that I always wanted to do, I would have all of these really dope intellectual, emotional conversations that's needed with my brother. It's needed. And that's something that my co-host talks about where she says, y'all, even in a crazy way, have had an opportunity to build some type of brotherhood. Even in that effed up environment, y'all got to be able to find spaces where y'all can build. And the sisters, you know, they need that time too. They need spaces where they can build and they can see like, sis, we going at each other when we the ones, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna leave that at that. She could tell you more about it and give you that. But for me, I like being able to talk to women in that way, not in no sexual I'm trying to get with you way, not with I'm smiling because I'm attracted to you. I might be, and that's okay too. I don't have to act on every attraction. That's another thing we need that has to be learned from that interaction with women. Every attraction, you don't gotta turn it into we gotta be dealing with each other or we gotta be sexing each other. It can really be whatever it's gonna be, but it don't gotta be that all the time. Like that don't gotta be the end result of every interaction that I have with a woman. That at the end of the day, I'm judging whether or not, even though that's a real thing on both ends. But why the conversation gotta begin damn near and end with that all the time? Why it can't? Like, I really like being around women because I love black women, and then being able to talk to women on the level that I've been able to talk to men is dope for me, man. I love it. And I know so many intelligent women, yo. Not that it was ever a thing in me that thought that would be lacking. I just didn't have the opportunities. Not saying that I never talked to intelligent women while I was locked up, but I couldn't talk to as many. Because you know how people got their own expertise. That was the funny thing about being upstate with the dudes, because it would be like, you'll talk to the FOI boy, and he'd have his set of information, and a lot of it would be true and sharp and on point. And then I talked to the Hebrew Israelite, and he got his whole thing in the 5%er, and then I talked to the black liberation theologist, the Christian boy that's on all black everything, but don't know that that's what that is. That's black liberation thought. One of the first liberation thoughts we had with our AME churches. But at the same time, I could see where some of those ideologies from the church hurt us coming out of slavery because we got them directly from our slave master. And we thought that they were coming from God, but really this was white culture being preached to us. And we good, sturdy black folk doing things that were anti-black because of religion, because they didn't know. And they thought they had got everything. They had got fully away from this European, but now you're worshiping his God. You know? And we are highly spiritual people, so we feel like we all the way in. That's real. Yeah, you need a healthy balance of, because you know I'm blind, platonic and intellectual building, healing, and then it goes further. That's a bit. That's a bet. My bad. I gotta get glasses. That's another reason why the brother got insurance. You know, I told you I got a job. One of the reasons why I signed on for the job for the insurance, because I need glasses. You know what I'm saying? I need them. I'm 45. I need them. I still feel good. I still look good. But you gotta and this is my thing with glasses too. People so I gotta give y'all insight on everything. One of the things about glasses, which your body naturally does with anything that it gets as an aid, is it makes the aid a part of itself. So you become overly reliant on.
Somebody figured that out.
You become overly reliant on a thing, so it can sometimes, if you utilize a thing too much, that's why you have a therapy period with most things that you're trying to, when you break your leg, you have a time frame that you should walk with the cane. Otherwise, it'll start affecting other parts of your body. Your body will start getting used to that cane, adapt to that cane, and start moving in that way. Like, it becomes more of a crutch than you would know. It's something when people tell people about jobs where they wear back braces. To be honest, the back braces are effing your body up. What you need to do is be a stalwart in the gym, and more in particular, do deadlifts.
Yeah.
If you have any job that's extraneous on your back, and you know it because you got to wear a back brace before you get to the point. And then when you actually hurt your back, the back brace still doesn't actually do it. Therapy is still the thing. Strengthen those bones and those joints and everything around your back.
Let me speak to that real quick.
And then, go ahead.
So, like, everybody used to tell me when I was locked up, like, yo, man, you need to wrap your knees up. Yo, you can't be lifting all that weight, this, that, and the third. And I used to tell people, like, yo, all that's going to do is make it a crutch for you when the time coming you ain't got your wraps or one of your wraps pop on you. Because I done seen people wraps pop on them while they was squatting or while they was lifting. And the thing is, like, yo, we got to stop being so reliant on all these tools that they provide us with, because they're the ones that's providing us with them. We need to be the individuals that rebuild ourselves properly, do the proper research, and then go ahead and make the proper efforts.
Exactly.
It ain't hard.
It's not. And when I power lift, I didn't really. The only time I got into all that strap shit and all that bench shirt shit was it's almost like they made us wear these things and do these things at the lift, at the actual joint,
at the meet.
You know, at the meet. You know, but I was dead lifting 600 pounds with nothing at 16, 650, nothing. I got 700. I didn't officially get it in the jaw, but if you get 700 pounds right here, because you know in a deadlift you got to come all the way up. So I was like bent like right here with the 700. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm fucking 17 and I got it's dudes coaching me right now that couldn't do what I could do. You know, that was a funny thing when I got upstate. I wasn't impressed. Cause the shit that dudes was doing upstate with their grown man strength, I was really doing that shit at 16 up Glen Mills. And I got the dumbass trophies and all that shit. And that stuff means something to me. The trophies just don't. The accomplishments, they mean something to me. That I was able to do these things, because that was more things that gave me confidence as a young man. That really, like when I started reading, it opened me up to how powerful I really was. Like, what if I was trained in a situation where it didn't feel forced to a certain extent. I did enjoy powerlifting. But I was in a situation where that was one of my outlets, so I was kind of like forced to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But had I been in a situation with my brother or my dad, and this was it allowed me to know when I went to jail, like I knew, like, damn, this is what it is when you tutor. This is what it is when you instruct. These people understood. White people I'm not gonna lie, when I was upstate, white men used to look at me with disdain, like, you fucking nigga, like, how you in jail? If I was you, I would be playing football somewhere. Like, that was their whole joint. They ain't really give a fuck about me, the young man, and how I got there. Their thing is they love football, and they wish that they would see me play basketball and lift and all of this type of shit, and they would look at me in amazement. Some of it was freaky. I understood that too. But it was an amazing motherfuckers. Like, some motherfuckers was just cool with me because they was like, damn, if you would have got an opportunity, you would have been this and that. Because they'd come to your cell looking there, see me watching football or something, and they see me work out, see what I look like and all that. Like, damn, you play ball? Yeah. I didn't love football, though. I love basketball. But I had a football body. I didn't love football. I was really good at it. And I know I could. Like, one thing I tell people, you can say whatever you want. If it was a split, we'd all be high. But I know if I took football serious, I would have went to the NFL. I'm not saying what level of player, but I knew I was doing some shit that other people that was damn near 300 pounds couldn't do. And they seen it when I would be on on a basketball court. And I wasn't never like all over the place. Like, I was never like a fat young boy that was like all over the place. You know, I wasn't ripped up as a young boy, but everything was in its proper place. And the weight that I put it on properly. Like, I never had no big ass gut, none of that type shit. Like, you could see that I worked out and I played sports and I love to play sports. You know what I'm saying? So people would see it. And when I was young, I understood it, but I didn't understand it until I got older. Like always, like we always do. You gain more understanding. You've been through some stuff. Some people explain. People come in your life, put some things into you here and there. And then it's like, damn. If I was in another situation with my brother and my pop, I'd have been an animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, really. Because them white folks up the mills, they was mad when I ain't want to come back. They was mad. They was like, we can get another year, especially powerlifting. You'll be high. I don't want to do nothing for y'all people, man. Without the information, even at that age, I knew those white men wasn't for me. I watched how they treated other people. That's important. The people you're around, watch how they treat other people. It's only a matter of time. I learned that in my case. It's only a matter of time. You've seen it. You've been seeing that snitch behavior. You've been seeing that lying behavior. You've been seeing that deceiving, vicious, nasty behavior. It just hasn't turned on you yet, but it will, because that's that person's character. And either y'all going to do some character correcting, or you need to get away from that person. Because if you treat them like that, you're going to treat me like that. That's a big thing for me and the people that I'm around. I watch how, not saying that they perfect, not saying that some things are like, you know, I give you a big thing with me and my, like, relationship stuff. The way my brother might deal in a relationship, I might not. But the whole, like, just beating your woman all up and all, like, we ain't and all that. That ain't something. Not taking care of your kids, nah. And I ain't saying how you father is the same way I would father, but the attempt is being made on a consistent basis. It means something to you to be a father. Now, we may disagree in our tactics as fathers, And that might be a debate. But you can't even be my homie if you don't take care of your kids. Like, we could just probably be like associates because I don't really know. But once I find out, once I peep, you don't take, nah. Because if you ain't take care of something that come from your nutsack, you going to leave me stranded, bro. If you don't take care of something that look like you, that got your eyes, your nose, your mouth sound like you, head shaped like you, tall like you, stand like you, feet like yours, if you going to shit on that for whatever reason, you know, even the things that I understand as a man that make us not want to be fathers, to think we can't be fathers, that's going to be the same thing in our friendship too, though. When certain things come up, you're not going to be able to hold in your end of the bargain, and they real things. So what you do, you dip. You know, if that's your thing, I wanted to take care of my kids, but I just didn't. Yeah, then you're going to do the same thing with me. You're going to have those same insecurities with me when you can't get money. What you going to do to me when I hit a lick and you can't? Or when I need you to hold me down because I'm hit and you ain't got all that much, but we supposed to be dogs. You going to dip out. It's proven you ain't have a lot in your mind to take care of your kids because that's a legitimate joint that I hear. I ain't had the money. It's an embarrassment. Yeah, I get it. But that means you'll do the same thing to me too then. There's no getting around it.
Ain't showing up half the battle.
Right. It's no getting around it. You're going to find a way out. Whatever that is. And I'm going to have to just take it. So cats that don't take care of their kids, you can't be my homie. We can't be dogs. I will never call you my brother. Like you, I call a lot of people my brother that's really my brothers. Like we ain't friends. We brothers. To the point when people be like, how many brothers you got? I got a lot of them. But if you don't take care of your kids, you ain't one of my brothers. Ain't no dude that you know that called me like, yo, that's my man. That's my brother. And they don't take care of their kids. Again, we may differ in how we take care of what we call, but you're making the attempt of I'm a father. Like you'll step up to that. Like, no, these mine over here. I got 6 or I got 5 or I got 2. I got 1. I got all boys. I got all. You going to step up to it. You feel me? And you move around. You tell them if the motherfucker asks you got kids, you say no. I know dudes like that. No, I ain't got no kids. Look at this nigga. Or motherfuckers talking about, yeah, I got 1. What? And I get this. No. I know you got 3 kids, bro. You keep talking about this 1. What? Ain't no question about mine. And I got kids that ain't mine, that's mine. That's how deep this shit is. That's how much is in me. And my brothers move the same way. I don't got no homies that don't look out for other people's children. I just don't.
Ain't no damn doubt about that.
I don't have no friends. I don't have no brothers, no men around me. Again, motherfuckers is not perfect. You can find flaws. I know you can. But I'm just talking about certain things that make you my brother, my homie. Certain standards that I feel like are sturdy standards. You know what I'm saying? And then that goes back to what I'm saying about family. Because normally those type of men, no matter how tenuous their relationships be, their women are very similar. The women that you bring, even women that you deal with kind of in passing a little bit that you don't deal with, you know, y'all might try to figure it out. It ain't, y'all put a little time in, but that woman got it. It's just y'all relationship ain't working in the time and space that y'all in. But I only deal with certain type of women. You know what I'm saying? No matter if nobody like this woman, she might take care of kids, though. I might not like the other stuff, but she take care of kids, and that's something that we have similar. We love our babies. You know what I'm saying? So that family thing is important to me, and this show showed me, even though I already knew these folks was my family, but the way they just rolled, like, all right, we doing it. We believe in you. And that shit's still going. Like, shit's still happening. It's shit that's going to happen and about to happen, and they going to be front row center. You feel what I'm saying? Because they my folks. And we don't turn back on this shit, yo. Blood in, blood out. Like, nah, man. But, yo, I love y'all, man. You know, this is the and, you know, I was on a crying tour, but I ain't crying now. Like, I'm just happy as shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we here. With no fanfare. It's funny, I'm not one of those big celebration station ass people. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit that turned me on, like, it's funny. Sometimes I don't know how to explain it, but the stuff that people usually be so excited about, I don't necessarily be like, I be excited, but I be like, all right, that's cool. I like that. You know what I'm saying? But it might be something different that get a yell out of me. You know what I'm saying? Or Like what the like the shit that people do that's fake sometime out here with the celebration. It's like you following what everybody else do. You excited about it because everybody else say you supposed to. You know what I'm saying? But with no fanfare at all, like this means something to me, man. Because this 2 years. Somebody told me something the other day, and it was like, and I've been rocking with it. Like, at some point you gonna be a part of like Philadelphia history because you did this show. And this is something that people at a time frame in Philly, because things are happening in this city and y'all need to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention. The water thing was funny to me. Not funny because it happened, but funny in like our responses. And there's a lot of ways to look at it, But I do believe that it's one of those wake up Johns. Like it be certain things that happen that tells you need to be a little bit more prepared. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell people became capitalists, and some people said it's disgusting, but this is what a lot of us has been taught. So it's like, all right, we gotta retrain that thought of when crisis happens, why are we hoarding the way our oppressors would hoard and do? Because they told us that's the model. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a real crisis, why do I want to sell something? I don't know of what I seen, because everything on Instagram is not true. You know what I'm saying? But I did see a picture in passing where somebody had, and people told me like people was grabbing 10 cases of water and stuff like that. Like, or people really scared and not knowing, because the pandemic can make some people believed in the pandemic in a way that I didn't think was possible. But then once I heard so many people say, yeah, I was really in the house for 6 months. I was really in the house for 4 months. I didn't move. I didn't go anywhere. I was in the house. And I had to understand it like, okay, this is what people think is happening and what believe is happening, what's really happening. It gets all convoluted and people just go on whatever their instinct or fear is, or both. I can't be mad at them for that. But I will say, please do more research. Please look real time and look in the media and look to some books of some history of things that had happened that seem like this or look like this. So, because it'll show you those times, shit like this have happened a lot of times amongst people. But what the thing for me, it was just like, get sharper. Whatever you building, try to be sharper with it. You know how they say measure one, cut, what is it?
Measure once, measure
twice, cut once.
Yeah,
all right, and that's what I mean. Like overall, like be more precise about what we doing, what we building, because things can happen at any time. The water could be completely polluted. I'm one of them people that believe there's a certain amount of pollution in there anyway. So, and then the bottled water is a question too. It's like everything is to be questioned. You got to rock with what you did the most research on and what makes the most sense to you. But at the end of the day, we need to figure out wells. We need to figure out how do you clean water.
Yeah, purification.
What's your own purification process? What are some of the things you can use to naturally purify anything? If you know what's in it.
Just fortifying our communities, period.
Exactly. Self-sustainability. That's what it told me. Like, we need to grow. We need to be growing more. We need to find wells. We need to create filtration centers, places where we could just, you know what I'm saying? What is it?
Agriculture.
Agriculture, but it's another John for like your waterways and your water systems. The word's not coming to irrigation. Yes, there you go. Smart man. I like it.
More than anything, man, like if them type of programs got started, man, the kids, they would not be out in the streets because they have something in their hands to actually do. Like I always say,
some like, all right, my daughter always shout out to my daughter Sakile. Congratulations. I'm not gonna put your business all out in the street, but congratulations. We need to do something. We need to party. You know what I'm saying? I just always want to celebrate. That's another thing. I'm a very serious man. I can't turn off even when I'm in wherever the celebrations is going on. If you want to get into a serious conversation, especially about our people, I'm always with it. But more than anything, like I talked to this is the sister that made me late, y'all. And Took, shout out, because he give me a little bit more time like he always do, man. And at some point, I'm gonna have to purchase this time. I'm trying to get to that point. I promise you, brother. I'm gonna get this other hour that you keep damn near letting me get anyway. But this is a sister who made me late, y'all. We was talking. We got engulfed in great conversation. Like I was saying to y'all, I didn't say this to her, but I was explaining why I have the conversations I have with black women the way that I do is because for a long time I didn't get to have those same kind of conversations with my brothers. Not that me and my brother, we were having great conversations, but without a woman's perspective. You know what I'm saying? And an aware woman. Because I talked to women while I was they all wasn't aware. Great women in their own right, but they all wasn't aware on like a lot of the issues and stuff that I talk about. It was like I'm always like explaining to them or lecturing to them, or you know what I'm saying? So to be able to talk to women who have ideas, you know what I'm saying, and like have looked into it and studied the ideas and want to study more, like those conversations are dope to me, you know what I'm saying, with my sisters. Because I need them to build. It's like I'm trying to catch up because I've been having serious conversations. I had this whole idea what a black woman was supposed to be. And it wasn't a bad ideal. But what has gone on in real time, my sisters are a little different. And not so much in a bad way. They just different than the idea of what I thought I was going to be dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm learning that. And that's a dope joint. Like, and I love my brothers, but I'm kind of burnt out. I'm kind of burnt out with talking to dudes. Like, I really just be wanting to talk to women all day. I'm not gonna lie, I be with women all day.
We need the balance, right?
Yeah, like I'm 20 years off, y'all. So if you see me all the time, it ain't that. It ain't what y'all always think everything gotta go to. Like I really, like me and this sister really was in a hot car with this brother asleep, busting it up. Listen, this is how much we was busting it up, right? Because we so hype about what we do and we so passionate about what we do. Job excluded, just as black people in America, whatever we characterize as, is something that connects. Black people in America. So we were talking so much. She was in the front seat. He sleep already. She ain't even peeping initially, I don't think. When we started talking, I was like, yo, he's sleeping. You was like,
but you know,
yo, he out. He's resting. She was like, he's resting.
When people sleep, I always think that they're yielding their stronger form of their energy to what's going on.
All right.
So that's why I sent it, because you know he a powerful brother too. So he was sitting there and he was going,
yeah, for a minute. Yeah, for a minute. Yo, that sound like me. I just told somebody, I said, I don't know what it is, but whenever I come in somewhere or people will be asleep, I don't never believe they actually sleep. I don't know. That's something wrong with me. When you come in the house, somebody on the couch, I never believe they really sleep, yo. Whenever I come somewhere and people be sleep.
That's not what I said. I didn't say I don't believe they be sleep. He was rocked though.
Yo.
Like, you know, Jarue, it's just it's actually just refreshing, right?
Right.
And it's just like, you know, you get your prayers answered in different ways when things are happening. And you know, the Most High is in us. So that's why you have to treat people so good. You have to find a way to treat people good. But your questions that you have, if you truly seeking, they're going to come from another person. And, you know, every time we get on the phone, you know, we talking about business. That joint go on for, I'll be like, Jarue, you be like, I got to work. I'll be like, I got to work too, right? But it's just so great because these conversations have been, you know, they literally put the word that I couldn't get. They've completed the sentence or completed a thought that may have been going the wrong way, right? And just made it just even stronger, grounded in my people, just knowing that I have to be the way that I am with them, give them more care, and know they're not victims because they need more care. They're actually the ones that just need more care,
exactly.
Right? They've been stolen from and beat and hurt, and all of these things doesn't make them a victim, but it does make the people who's supposed to stand up and speak for them. That's the time when you're supposed to speak up. You see a bully in the room. That's basically what's going on with our people.
Exactly.
So
and the thing is, I do like that because I put a lot of pressure on our people. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Put pressure on me. Put pressure on me to do what I'm supposed to do. And that victim thing that came from a conversation. I told my cousin to come on the show. Whenever she come on the show, we can talk about that whole conversation. I'm not upset with you. I wasn't upset. I really did have to take care of my daughter. And I didn't get to call you back because I'm busy like you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm around. Like, you could come on the show. We could talk about it. Listen, I don't agree with you. And I can tell you why. You know what I'm saying? And you can have the microphone and nobody will interrupt you. And you can let people know what you think. You know what I'm saying? And I would love that. I want you to come on the show anyway because you're a black woman with a master's degree.
Yeah, come on, favorite cousin. That's what he
exactly. You feel me? For real, that it is. You know, I love all my cousins, y'all. I love all y'all. But that's my dog. You know what I'm saying? And we just didn't agree.
And that's the thing. If we can have these conversations and still give love and not make them make us separate, right?
Right.
Because it just be so much, it be so heavy that you really think, Neil, you got a problem with this person. I ain't talking to him. When it's really like, baby, it's just a conversation.
Right.
And
I know what I know.
Yeah.
I like people be like, you a little I'm arrogant with my intelligence, yo. I am. And I want everybody to be arrogant with your shit. Cause what being arrogant with my intelligence allows me to know it's a responsibility. So I always got to be getting more.
But is it arrogance or confidence?
It's confidence, but I'm just saying people say that it's arrogant, and I'm all right with them saying that because I'm still going to do what I do.
Yeah, but let them say what they want.
Right, because you're going to get something from it. You're going to use something I told you in your next debate, argument. I know it. I know it.
You know that's the first thing.
I know you're going to hear something and be like, dang, he just said that.
You know what's the two key components of that conversation? It's all about reception and perception, man. How do you receive a person and how do you perceive a person? If you perceive a person as being jacked up, whatever they say, however they put it, it ain't gonna make no difference to you because you already got the first look at them like, oh, you jacked up. I ain't got no rep.
Right.
But then when you receive a person, like when they come in the room, if your reception of them is messed up, like what type of conversation you expect to have?
Not gonna.
It's like I do say that to people. Me and my daughter had this conversation before. And it wasn't like an attack on her, not saying that my daughter is like this all the time. But I remember we just was having conversations and she was just talking about socially how she moved and how she been through some things that make her think people can be a little bit more negative than they should be. You know what I'm saying? So now you're carrying that with you into every room. And when you think people are giving off to you something that's negative, or it's really you brought that, which way you look when you didn't speak or when you did speak. Where you stood, how you stood, like you brought this on defense. You brought this on defense attitude thinking you was open. You thought you was open. I'm just walking in the room. But all your responses and 85% of communication is nonverbal.
And it may be more.
You feel what I'm saying? But that you're giving off your baggage.
Yeah.
You're giving off what came into the room. So when people respond, you be like, see, I knew it. I knew they was going to hate on me. I knew they was going to be saying, it's like when people start whispering, they not even talking about you, but you assuming everybody in the room talking about you, they not saying nothing about you. Yeah. Oblivious to you in the room. But as soon as people start, look like they talking to each other and they trying to do a private, people like, they probably talking about.
But it's still learned. That's all this learned behavior and then just so much dysfunction and just the way you behave. Because really, people just want to be included, right? So when you coming in a room and you got all of this dysfunction, people talking about like, it's the norm. Like, oh, I know y'all talking. I know for a fact if you ain't answering my phone, you doing X, Y, and Z. Like we have all of these things that are really just dysfunction that we never just take 1 second. Like they said, emotional intelligence, you have to just, before you react, just take a time. Just be quiet, be calm, and actually say how you feel out loud. Like really say it to yourself. Am I sad? Am I angry? How do I actually feel? We don't even take that time to assess our own feelings. So then you give the person's eyes. You know nothing about the other person. At all. You barely know anything about yourself. So we're only reflecting. They're only going to give us what we already don't have. Like, and you can't even receive it, just like he said. It's nothing to receive. Your door isn't open. So
exactly.
These conversations, especially amongst women, we was getting into so many different conversations. Right. Colorism and not even know you were a part of colorism. You just so oblivious, right? And being a light-skinned black girl, I mean, you can imagine, right? All of the things that I had to be broken out of, but I've always been just such a caring person. I've had so many different other experiences. That's why my colorism wasn't that hard, but I expressed it in a different way to where I was overly catering to brown skinned women and, just tiptoeing around them in a way, right? Because I felt like they were being done so wrong. And it just like,
even that becomes for a dark-skinned woman and knowing a few dark-skinned women, that does become a thing. Like, yo, you don't have to be overly sensitive because of me. Because it starts to come off as being, even though you're being genuine and trying because you understand now.
No, I wasn't being genuine and trying in that time. When you're being overly sensitive or if you're being overly anything, you can't be being genuine.
But I'm saying in the moment, did you think you were? And then something you look back on and said?
Yeah, when I look back on it, I'll be like, that that was a fake.
That wasn't genuine.
That
right.
wasn't a real action, right?
Right.
Because it wasn't even coming from a real place.
Mhm.
Like, you know, they don't need tiptoeing around. They don't need anything like that. They
Right.
don't need to be extra told, like, oh, you're so beautiful.
Right,
Look at your skin
right.
And all of this. No, you are the finest and all of
Right.
this stuff. Like, because one of my sisters is brown skin. You know, shout out to Honest Fire. You know, she's the truth. And just seeing the way that she was treated within our family because
Mhm.
she was the one, and it was a total distinct way. Oh, she has a different attitude when she's sitting over there quiet.
Right.
Like, how she got an ass? She didn't even say nothing to nobody.
Right, she chilling.
Right? But
because of that, it's like the dirty John. It's like the bad John. Like they bad.
Yeah, off the
What
bat.
make them bad? Grandma.
And they need to be beat.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
What makes them bad? Grandma.
Yeah.
Because this is some of the stuff that I was saying to you when we talk about the good old days of parenting.
Ain't no good old days.
You feel what I'm saying? Where is the good old days of the black community? Yeah, we had certain black people in small groups doing certain things. And I'm not saying those numbers are not big, but overall, like I said about religion when we was talking, we brought a lot of bad traits from our oppressor because we brought his religion. So even though it's funny, the easiest way to see this in black folk, and you can read about it, is like black folk is like black folk that do like the brown paper bag test. And they affluent black people, like you could talk about people in George County. You know, a lot of studies have been done about that county and how black people move and their opulence and so forth and so on. But then when you talk to them, it'd be like they hate white people. But then when you really understand the depths of it, that's just rage. That's not revolutionary talk. That's not overthrow the system or let's start all over because how we're being. No, they have rage because they're not being allowed to be like white folks. Like the white folks, even with all their opulence and money and following everything the white people do, dress, talk, the whole nine, white folks will still allow you to know you're not one of us. At all. To the point where they look at, you know, the brown paper bag stuff, you're not light enough, or even y'all making it bad for us.
Yeah, and then they'll say smart. Like I had a white girl say to me one time, right? I worked in a restaurant. She said, you know, the other girls always have a little attitude, but you're not like them. You're like a white black girl. I said, what? She said, you're more white. You know, I said, well, which side of me is more white? Which one? You talking about my kindness? So y'all get to own kindness? She just kept staring at me. I'm like, you have no clue who you talking to.
Right.
So the white is clean and kind.
Right.
And y'all are terrorists.
And that like, call it what it is.
Please call it exactly what it is, because I'm not.
You gotta listen to
your name.
I gotta send it, John. I think I sent it to you, the In Class with Greg Carr. Karen Hunter.
Maybe.
But I'm gonna send it to you because I've been sending it to a couple people. Like, really listen to them. You know, not listen to them as just follow behind them. And even if you listen to them explain the things that they explain very intelligently, very factual, you know what I'm saying? Very strong, not cowtelling with the information because it's like, why? But Karen Hunter is like, a lot of times I hear her talk, she just be like, why are we doing anything from a framework that they made? Anything. She's like, anything.
But the problem
even if what you do doesn't come out to necessarily be correct because we got to go through the process of really finding our own, that's better than you doing what they did and saying that we're going to follow their model.
But you know, that's really dangerous too, because a lot of those models that they use, they perverted our models that we've created.
No doubt.
So it's just like, how can you give them, like, I just think that, you know, that extreme mindset that don't do anything like them so much that we're trying to go back to the Middle Ages when we taught them how to bathe and heat their food.
Right.
And do all
when they thought tea was magical because of the hot water.
Yeah, and then we gave them these things. So then we allowed them to say, no, this is their system. No, they perverted that system.
Because this definitely came from, you know, Kush, ancient Kush. Yes, when you look at what democracy,
organization,
right? When you look at what these things, these great words that you said, like they playing with words with democracy, yeah. But when you look at what the principles are, you can trace that always back to ancient Kemet and Kush, like how governance was really done. You know what I'm saying? So I know that's why you got to listen to her. That's why you got to listen to her, as in watch the podcast.
Yeah.
Because she talks about that. Like, it's really one of those things where don't throw out information. Just better way to say it, take their culture off of it.
Take it completely off.
Take their culture out of it.
Because they're liars.
Yeah,
and
take their culture out of it.
They always try to just play with you a little bit, right? And it's not even a little bit, it's a lot of it. But since we're already trained to receive them differently, right? It's just like, oh, that's not that deep. Why are you taking it like that?
Right.
And we have titles on each other. I'm a revolutionary if I think this way. You were such and such. You were Hotep. You were, if you just say one thing, they just put you in a box and stop receiving you, right? But with them, they have every way to say anything. But we are the only ones who money don't circulate in our communities because we don't have businesses that are thriving in our communities. And we always feel like we have to give them a response of why we're doing it. But if we look at every single body else, they're doing that freely. And no one asks them any questions on why you have a all blah, blah, blah community or da-da-da-da-da. It's only when it comes to Black people. And why? It's because that's what we're programmed to behave like. But until we start asking questions, just sit back and ask one question like, yo, why am I going to this store to purchase eggs and da-da-da-da-da? And is this person my neighbor? Period. And then if you can figure that out, if they're your neighbor, you know their taxes aren't going there. All of your money is being bleeded out of that community. So this is huge. This means a lot, because if our money is not circulating, what is it doing?
I'm not going to run up because we got 5 minutes even.
We out of here.
But I'm a speak to your point. My nieces and nephews, they were working for us at PYN down at the center over the summer. So they got their little money. They young, you know what I'm saying? I know what it is. There's a lot of brothers and sisters. You want to do some shit for yourself because you got a little money. Cool. I ain't had no issue with you spending your money however you wanted to spend your money. For real, for real. But I just wanted to understand something. My one nephew he made like $400. I said, how much did you spend in the poppy store? And he's probably like 250 out of 400 over the course of like 2-3 days. Because, he 12. So I know what he did with it. He went to school, almost got into a couple fights because, he got some money, so I got money. You know what I'm saying? I got money. That's just what it is. So he almost got into a fight, this and the third. Spent money at multiple poppy stores, but mainly the one around the corner from him. Just so happened that poppy store, they have a family that they're related to, I guess, that lives in the neighborhood. But these kids are always dressed to the nines because that's like, in the hood, that's like your status symbol thing. You got the ones on, you got the dunks on and all the different colors. You wearing certain stuff. So y'all are getting to see a direct correlation, a direct connection to what your money goes to when you spend it at this particular poppy store. They have a family that lives in the community. Everybody good in this house. They're straight. Clothes-wise, all that good stuff. They got all the things they need. You struggling. You just spent $250 or $400 in the poppy store. I said, first, you see where your stuff going, because they always dress nice. I've seen them before, right? All the brothers and sisters, yeah. Okay, boom. You just bought them some dunks, and you ain't got nothing for yourself. Not that dunks is this important thing, but if you just going to spend your money, spend it on something for you. Not just, junk food because you want to be in a poppy store. But I said the other thing is, you just spent $250 in one. You're 12. You got 11 brothers and sisters. 8 of them live in the crib with you, mom, cousins, all that. So all of y'all go to this poppy store, right? He's 12. I said, do you think you can go borrow $50 from that poppy store?
Never.
At all.
And
I said, do you? And this is the crazy thing about knowing.
$20 a day is $10,000 a year.
And this is the thing about knowing.
People.
I said, if you know that, and then you see how they take care of their folks, why would you give them all your money, baby?
It's the convenient. You're already integrated in that system.
Right. And it's a status symbol. To spend in this poppy store, just same way it is upstate, to get 15 minutes on the phone to what dudes faking being on the phone. Because it's a status symbol to be on the phone. The things that we make us somebody. Like, you feel what I'm saying? The things that we make us somebody. Or when somebody told you.
Right. Being
on the phone upstate means something. If you don't get on the phone, it's a status symbol. It's like you got to have a sweatsuit. You got to have a TV, the bullshit TV. You got to have a couple of brand new bum sneaks that they selling as for whatever price, but you got to have it. It's a whole kit that you got to have as a jail boy, and you got to go to the store every week. To the point where boys covering their bag up to make it look bigger. All kinds of, like, dudes doing all kinds of shit to force. But we all in prison,
bro.
But
that's happening outside, too.
Right, and that's what I'm saying about my nephew. At 12, going to the store whenever you want means something.
It does.
That's a status symbol.
You going to the store again? Yup.
Opposed to cooking your own food.
Right, instead of calling Uncle Jarue and say, listen, I want to go to the supermarket.
Yeah.
Or I want to go to Walmart. They do love Walmart, though. These kids love Walmart. They always want a Walmart run. But he understood it. And I had to bring it to him so he could see it, so they all could see it, because he got little brothers and sisters. Like, why would you spend this amount of money with somebody who would never look out for you?
It's because it's just like a little leak, right? That's the only thing I'm going to say. Like, it's the little leak that you don't pay attention to. But it still is going to sink that ship. It has the power, right? So every day you just going to spend, I'm getting penny candy. I'm getting some chips. I got a hoagie. It ain't no big deal. It's a huge deal. $20 a day is $10,000 in that year. So imagine they got all these people coming from here. They making hundreds of thousands. They making over $200,000 at what we call a little poppy store. But since we don't understand how money works and what money is, right? We're just thinking, oh, they not doing no real harm. They selling a little bit of chips.
And the research that I do when I ask them about, different things in your community and what helps you, they all say the poppy store is a help. But this is the thing. When I ask them to expound on it, how? How do they help the community? They make it more convenient.
Right. It's convenient to spend your money quickly.
Now they got food and ain't no food, and you can go to the poppy store and get food. Like, what? Yeah. What, bro? Like, but these is young brothers. They don't know. And sisters, they don't know.
And then remember, convenience is a real thing.
Man, next week, man. We got to get you on here. This is real for me, man. I got to get you on here. This young lady right here made me late. We probably been able to do it today, but I see you in here by yourself. You got to engineer the situation. You know what I mean?
It's called accountability.
Ain't no doubt. We being accountable. I'm being accountable for being late. I was late. No, and normally I say I was behind time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say. That's some what?
That's some fraud and stuff too.
That ain't fraud.
You ain't behind time because it makes you comfortable having little things like, I'm just behind. No, you was late, black man.
No, listen. I normally was doing, this is why I say behind time, and I explained this before. Because I normally am doing something that's very important.
Oh, yes.
And it runs over, and I got to kind of try to see it through, and then I get to the next thing. That is very important, too. I try to line my life up to everything that I'm doing is something that's very important, no matter, even if it's just me taking care of myself, my self-care. That's very important.
That's the first important.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm having a conversation with you about credible messenger stuff, us working together, what we going to do in the neighborhood, that goes into a lot of different situations. And it's like, damn, we really did lose time. Like, I didn't answer my phone, like nothing. Like, and then I look up thinking it's 3-something. It's 4:42.
You can't lose time. We mismanaged it.
How? We had a great conversation. I still think that it was building going on. Not that my show is not important, because this show is very important. This is very cathartic. For people that don't know, I love to do this.
I like that word, cathartic.
It is. And I believe in self-care, therapy, talking to people, even if we're not going to say in the regular framework of these schools, because I know for a fact, and people can debate with me about it, but I know for a fact I got a lot of therapy walking the track upstate with people who are not professionals, if you want to say. They didn't have degrees. But one of the things that kept me sane was being able to continuously have conversations with these men.
Yeah, that's like reading books.
Right, about our feelings and about how we are feeling and what emotional intelligent conversations, and we wasn't even label them as that, but that's what they were. Things that I was on edge and anxious and had anxiety, and then I come out and talk to my brother, and for 2 hours, we working through it. When I go back in the cell, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the reasons I was able to come home and hit the ground running, because I didn't really have all of those emotional hang-up and psychological issues going on, because I had a lot of conversations about a lot of things that kept me even. And we social by nature, so you need conversation. That's the reason why they put you on solitary confinement. You go crazy. The brain is not built not to interact.
Exactly.
It just doesn't work. That's why you lose it. That's why, what you think is sane can slip if you're not around people enough, especially women and children. You need all three. You need whatever your gender is plus the other parts to make you whole. Mm-hmm. You take those things away, you're cracking something. You're breaking something. And even with keeping up with my brothers, that's why I said the conversations with my sisters is so important right now, because I need to get that filtered back in.
And we need healing. And we need healing through conversations. When you really could touch and sense somebody, and you know they're good for people, and you trust them, because the trust is really what we're lacking. Mm-hmm. So then it rebuilds trust, and it makes you understand some things that may be going on in your current relationship that you're not opening up and speaking about. But it's so important to have conversations that are not below the waist, all the time, and being in a framework where you can really, you're just like, wow, this is what's going on with black men. They feel this way here, and this is what's going on with black women. Right?
Yes.
We're still real people. We're just not these titles they put on.
It's not a caricature. We have been made into a caricature.
Yeah.
And that's more of the weaponizing. That's why I use that word on purpose. We have been weaponized against each other. I know we say trigger, it's true. I know we say we don't get along. It's the struggle Olympics, all that. But it's another level of warfare to have the two people who make the black family be at odds with each other. Because now, even if we get a black family out of it, it's going to be very disruptive and very dysfunctional. So now we can't really build community because the core of it, the man-woman relationship, is so cantankerous. It's so aggressive. And even if we do build a family out of that, family is ripe with that aggressiveness and that cantanker and that dysfunction. So how are we going to build a neighborhood and in turn a community and then a city or a town or a township or a state or a whole race of, how are we going to do that if the core is not good?
It's so hard that we can't even ask for nothing. It takes it's not even like, why you didn't ask me, or do I gotta ask you? Why I gotta ask you for something? That should be like the easiest form for your mate, right? But they have made us so callous to asking. Like I literally had to really ask myself, like, why can't you just ask?
Right.
You know, you can ask, and you're not in charge of this person. You're not controlling. Right. They say yes or no, that's still their choice.
I'm gonna just give y'all some insight, and then we really, really gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta go.
We really gotta go, and I appreciate Took so much, man. He always show me love, man. I appreciate it, man. Me and my daughter mom, I put people business in the streets.
I'm crying.
I put my business in the street. So my daughter mom used to always do this thing where it was like we would pull up to the store, and I'll get out the car, go get whatever I'm gonna go get, come back in the car. And it's like, you didn't get nothing for me? No, you didn't ask for anything. Why I gotta ask you? Now I gotta memorize what you know and what you want and all that. Why do I have to ask you when you know? This is always my point. I'll do anything for you. Why do I gotta guess? Why do I gotta assume? Why do I gotta go in there and get something you don't like and bring it out and you be like, I ain't really want that? When you could have just told me, because you know you sitting with somebody that whatever you tell me, that's when I'm gonna go get out the store.
But does she know that?
Because she know it.
No one comes out in your actions. She must have some kind of insecurity in that, right?
About me, if you know
it's not just about you. It's
okay.
It didn't start with you.
I know that.
You know, and even the way that you responding to it, that's still like, okay, you know, you're in the store with me. Right, you in the store. Why you ain't get me nothing, dog? That means that you wasn't thinking about me. I'm sitting right here. You don't care about me.
Ooh, Lord.
How you in there eating for yourself and you wouldn't eat? Make sure I got something.
Is that what she thinking, or that really was going on?
This is really what the feelings be like.
Okay, cool. Because that really wasn't what's going on. Yo, I be scared. Hey, yo, we out on that one. Get the out of here, yo. That's my dog. Like, that's my sis right there. Like, that, I ain't gonna lie. As a man, that's the stuff that I not like, I don't like it like I'm upset with y'all or anything like that. But it's like, yo, I'm real big on.
She said over a mile.
I'm real big on track record. As a man, I feel like that's all I got to prove to my sister. Like, yo, I'm not what they made us into.
But these are the conversations we don't have initially or ongoing. When do we check in with each other just to have a conversation? Like, you know what? You questioning my manhood when you're coming at me in this way. Or, you know, I'm not trying to question your manhood. I don't feel like I'm caring for it because you ain't thinking. You know, women live in a thought, in a mystical
narrative.
That's what we're here for.
The narrative. Yo, I'm so happy you said that.
That's what we're here for, though.
No, I know, but like, listen, yo, I swear, my bad too. It always something. Yo, I really just, he said that to me. Exactly what you saying. These are the conversations I be having. But I told one of my sisters, I was like, yo, you know y'all thinking there. She was like, why is always y'all? I said, but it's not a bad trait.
But it's the way you.
It's just the way, right? It's the way that we've been told that you do it.
But even when y'all do communicate, you say y'all. You
right,
talking
right.
to me.
I know.
Say you're not even coming in a way where I can receive it.
But all right, you right. I got it. Y'all joint is a joint. They always do say that. Like, stop saying that.
Like, first of all, I don't know. Don't use narrative.
Why not? Why not?
What you mean? Because most of them don't know what that means. Like, speak to me plainly. What do you mean I'm talking in a narrative?
Nah, you know, y'all, like you just said, but the conversation was more about that's not a negative for women. That's something that we need to talk about because young women don't know that's how their brain work, and they create these things about men and where they're going to live and all of these things when we got to say it's okay for you to come up with that.
Yes.
That's okay for you to be creative and want that from a person, yes. But don't step to the person with the ideas that you have and then be upset when they don't operate how you created this in your head.
Exactly. But back to my point of we need these conversations too, right? Because with women,
y'all is I apologize,
we're gonna keep going with the narrative. We're gonna build a longer story. You know, the story from when you did. I see, cause look, he got a whole attitude. He picked the cup up, then asked me if I want. Like it could get real dark. Okay, but that's what we're meant for. That's why we carry children.
Right. That's a part of cultivating something,
yo. That's why we're able to help you build, because we can see into the unknown.
Yes.
These are all great things, but if they're misplaced.
And the young lady who said y'all is offensive, did I not say, because I like to get my credit from my sisters, did I not say exactly what this sister just said? Like, yes. No, not the offensive part, but where it's needed. And we just need to explain that to our young women. So it's like, it's not a bad thing. Don't let a man say, y'all thinking narrative, you two going. No, I need that to cultivate what you bring to me.
Yeah, and stand in your truth.
Right.
What is the truth? We don't hear it at all. All we have is people putting us at odds. Men doing this, women doing this. First of all, how do we supposed to behave as a unit? What makes this work? A man is built the way he's built for a reason. A woman is built so when we come together, we can thrive in those truths.
Thank you.
But if you're being fed so much poison, you're living in a false reality. And it's not just women, it's men too.
Yes.
Y'all don't know how to even hold that, right?
Right.
You just disrespected me on such a molecular level, shorty, that I can't even talk to you no more. And do you know how many women is out here? You know, it's 1,000 women to me. You ain't gonna find these are the realities that we have.
It is.
So it's so easy. Exactly. Y'all so confident in that. And it's just like, that's how we feel all the time.
Right.
Right? But where's a grounding point? Like, yo, Saturday, we're gonna go out, but before that, we're gonna sit down and talk.
Right.
Because we got some things to talk about so we can move forward.
Glad.
It's no check-in point. You need a daily check-in point where you can just say, listen, how we do with the restorative justice.
Right.
You need a restorative justice.
Pastor, talking peace.
Because it is just, and they say communication is key, but people don't know what are you talking about? No one says that. Okay, I know communication is key, but we make that say, oh, you should have told me. That's what I mean by communication. No, communication should be proactive. You should literally have a time point in the day where you're just not checking up on someone because you don't trust them, but you're literally checking up on them to see their thought process.
To see where they at, how they doing. Today?
What I said to you the other day, I don't know. I'm feeling this kind of way. Is that true? You know, not coming at them in a way where I got to generalize it to smooth it over, right? But saying, listen, did I offend you in any way?
Write it down. I've had people, more than one, but somebody recently as well, who they be like, you be saying stuff and I don't say nothing right then and there. I write it down so I could think about it and I could come to you and tell you like how I was feeling. Like I didn't really know what to say in that moment, or I didn't want to say anything quick in that moment. I'm taking in what you saying. Whether I agree or disagree, once I sit down, I wrote some of it down, I think about it, and then I come back. And those conversations, the comeback conversations be so thorough and so engulfing because it be like, damn, somebody really taking time to think about what you said to them. It goes beyond the restorative justice joint of give them a second to digest. She like, yo, I took it in, I'm writing it down, and then I'm going to come back and say something to you about it. Like, yo.
And that's so powerful. And one thing my boyfriend taught me, right? He taught me this. He said, why are you, like, one thing I know a lot of black women do. We be like, I'm just going to see what he doing. You know, we wait a couple days or weeks, let him do something that's offending you, and you call it, oh, I'm just trying to check what he really want to do. And it's like, he's like, are you on my side or you just sitting here observing that I'm off track and not letting me know what's up? Why would you let it get that long before you have something to say? Now I got all these ill feelings, and he getting a paragraph like this. He said, you sending me them long text messages. It's the corny part about it is not that you have all this to say at one point. It's just that I don't even get to tell you what's real within it. And you've already done made your mind.
Yes.
Up. Like, you know what I mean? Why don't you just tell me as it's going along in a good space? Why we're in a good space? Because we're human. It's not supposed to be perfect.
Nah, that is a thing. That is a thing. The whole thing of why you sitting back waiting for me to like to fuck up. Yeah. Why are you doing that? That's what
our girlfriends are saying. No, just watch that nigga. He gonna show you exactly what he about, right?
But my thing is, why be the judge, jury, and executioner and sit there and let it all play out when you could just nip it in the bud right then and there?
A lot of what we be, we gotta go, man.
We do.
Yo, this is PSA Philly service announcement. Takeover Tuesday. Takeover love supports great social activism, resources, and art. I need assist. Wasima, June, Carlita, Niche, Mao, all the people that sent me Jones, I was hype off it. I appreciate that, y'all. And I can see a little bit today, so I responded to y'all in time. Like, yo, Tuka, I appreciate you, man. That's what we doing out here. We out.